17-year-old Naledi Roberts has been arrested after she recorded herself on a video, placing a lit marijuana cigarette into the mouth of a 1-year-old girl. Naledi was babysitting the victim for a 16-year-old friend, who's the victim's mother. On Thursday, the 23rd of March, deputies responded to a residence in Largo, Florida, on allegations of abuse. Deputies made contact with Naledi, who initially admitted to smoking marijuana near the victim. However, she denied placing the marijuana cigarette in the child's mouth. Through various investigative techniques, detectives were able to obtain the video, which shows Naledi placing the marijuana cigarette in the baby's mouth. The infant then inhales while the lit marijuana cigarette's in her mouth, and the embers begin to glow brighter. Naledi then takes the marijuana cigarette out of the mouth of the child and places it into her own mouth, and inhales, causing the embers to glow brighter. The next day, Naledi was interviewed again, and eventually confessed to watching the victim and placing the joint in the victim's mouth. Naledi refused to provide an explanation as to why she put the marijuana cigarette into the baby's mouth. Naledi was arrested and charged with 1 count of felony child abuse. She's been transported to the Pinellas Juvenile Assessment Center without incident. The investigation into the matter continues. A 45-year-old man faces multiple charges after he allegedly threw a woman into a campfire. At around 8:15 p.m. on Monday the 20th of March, authorities responded to a call about a suspicious person near Long Road in Fairhaven, Massachusetts, and found a woman with burns on her upper body. The woman told police that she was attacked by a person she knew and was thrown into the campfire and held there. The victim was ultimately able to escape and find help. Paramedics transported her to a local hospital for treatment. Police identified Robert McWilliams as the suspect and located him in a wooded area where the alleged assault occurred, and he was arrested without incident. He was booked into custody on charges of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, intimidation of a witness, and assault with intent to kill. The motive of the attack and how the pair knew each other is unclear. Fairhaven police said they did not know the woman's current condition. On Monday, 33-year-old Thomas Lopez was sentenced to 18 years in prison after pleading guilty to multiple charges in the beating death of a woman last year. On the 24th of February 2022, authorities responded to the Roosevelt General Hospital in Portales, New Mexico. There they met with a victim who had been kidnapped, beaten, battered, and struck with the golf club multiple times. The victim, identified as 26-year-old Sabrina Cauldron, succumbed to injuries 4 days later. The victim arrived at the hospital with Thomas. While he was there, Sabrina told hospital staff that she fell down the stairs, but after Thomas left, she said that Thomas hit her with golf clubs, bit her on the ear and punched her. She suffered bruising all over her body and had dry blood near her ears. Sabrina told deputies that she and Thomas had been in an on and off relationship for the past year, and that he abused her for the past month. She said he forced her to stay in a room in his house along Roosevelt Road 6, and she wasn't allowed to leave or go to the bathroom. She said things got worse when she attempted to call her father when Thomas was able to stop her, because he had installed audio and visual surveillance equipment in the vents of the home. He then beat her up, pulled her by the hair and used a cord of a lamp to strangle her while yelling, "Shut up, you did this to yourself." He then forced her into the barn on the property where he tied her to a chair and punched her in the head multiple times, before hitting her several times full force with a golf club. On Monday the 27th of March, Thomas pleaded guilty to multiple charges, including murder, kidnapping, resisting, evading or obstructing an officer. His 18-year sentence includes a 4-year habitual offender enhancement. 24-year-old Christopher Charles Amore is behind bars after allegedly killing a man because he was tired of dealing with him. At around 4:30 p.m. on Sunday the 26th of March, authorities responded to a home in Casa Grande Circle in Spring Hill, Florida for a welfare check. A neighbor called police thinking something may have been wrong, as there was no activity at the home since the day before. When deputies arrived, they made their way through the premises to the master bedroom. Upon entering the room, they observed obvious signs of a struggle, as well as the lifeless body of a man. While searching other rooms in the home, deputies found Christopher in a second-floor bedroom. Initially, Christopher did not attempt to communicate with deputies. Fearing he was also dead, deputies approached to check on him. When he began to talk, he was taken into custody without incident. While questioned, he allegedly told detectives that he killed the person because he was tired of dealing with him. Authorities have not disclosed details of the relationship between the two men, the victim's name, or how he was killed. Christopher is charged with second-degree murder and is held at the Hernando County Jail without bond. The investigation into the matter continues. A 39-year-old woman was arrested after allegedly ripping out a chunk of hair out of a child's head during an altercation in Fairmont, West Virginia. On Wednesday the 29th of March, authorities responded to a residence in Fairmont on reports of a domestic disturbance. When officers arrived, they made contact with Tabitha Gibson, who told officers she had consumed 4 bootleggers. She blew .227 on a breathalyzer test administered at the home. Before officers arrived at the premises, they learnt that Tabitha was in a verbal argument with a juvenile, which led to her ripping a chunk of hair out of the child's head. Another child was also in the residence, and Tabitha was the only adult looking after them at the time. Tabitha was charged with 2 counts of child neglect, creating risk of injury. She's been held at the North Central Regional Jail on a $10,012 bond.